So what's it about then?
Sorry?
Basically, I was going to do some short stories this year because I needed to get back into just doing straight drama after working as a journalist. I went up to a friend's house, Ashlyn, who is the writer of the film.
Oh, go on, you know I love a good story.
I said, Ash, I'm going to do a load of short, kind of erotic stories or sexually charged stories in Hampstead Heath.
Not a hint of originality.
And we were talking away and having a laugh. He's a very old friend of mine. And in the end, we suddenly realised that if we did 7 stories at about 10 or 12, 13 minutes long, we've got the length of a feature film.
You've surprised me.
Well, I don't know what to think about that.
The only kind of conditions I said to Ash were, 1, it has to be outside. 2, the stories have to be able to be filmed within 2 or 3 days. Secondly, there'd be no props, no stunts, no big set builds. So the film was designed from the very beginning as a low-budget film. And the advantage of that, we also realised, was that we could get actors who were very good actors because we would only need them for 2 or 3 days, so we could work around their schedules.
I find this very comforting.
It was that kind of if we build it, they will come kind of thing, and it will get made. So if we attract the talent, if we attract the crew, if we can get everyone involved, everything else being equal, if the script's right, it will go. There's no better motivator than that.
And how long, how did you decide to do it in the first place?
This is great.
No, I'm interested because how
me.
did you decide to... Because obviously there must have been something happening before it started being written, so what was that process?
Ash, the writer, I've known for 25 years, and I said, listen, this is what I'm going to do, just to, you know, kick-start things, because I was trying to get another film off the ground. And it was then, literally the end of that conversation, Ash turned around and said, I've got the title, Scenes of a Sexual Nature. You know,
you grow up watching films, TV, and you know, it's this warning at the head of a drama, you know, beware, this contains scenes of a sexual nature. So when this came up and we kind of talked notionally about the kind of subject matter that we wanted to write about, I remembered this title and went, that is what we should call it. There's no sex in it, who cares?
And then the next day he turned up and he'd been thinking about it, and there was something mulling in his brain, and he turned up in my kitchen the next day and said, here are the 7 stories. The deal was I promised Ash, if he wrote the script, come what may, I would make the film, I would produce and direct it.
Now and again, it's just good to do something. And I think that was the thing that was inspiring about this project from beginning to end, which was quick.
There's more to life than thoughts. There's actions. Yeah, what sort of actions are playing on your mind?
I've spent years walking around London Park. I love London parks. I find them really fascinating places, and they're kind of where people go to, well, obviously to relax, to meet, but I always find them really sexually charged places. I think that's where people go when they have affairs.
Do you come here often?
Is that the best you have?
Yes, I'm afraid it is, yes.
Oh.
I lived in London for, I don't know, 20-something years. I would always go to Hampstead Heath and was always intrigued by people there. You know, when you sit on a bench for a while and just watch people walk by and wonder what's going on in their lives.
And I love the fact that you can sort of project, like you do when you're sitting on a park bench. You think, well, if that life is about that, if I've cast them in this role in life, what's going to happen to them next? And the same with each of these little stories. You wonder you can project what's going to happen next to them.
Shall I be mummy?
Why not?
My aim as a director was to try to create a film which gave the idea or the sensation that there is an oasis right in the heart of London. So you have this extraordinary park, which is Hampstead Heath, which has these amazing vistas of this urban skyline. And yet at the same time, when you walk into the park, it's very peaceful and it's very beautiful. So what I wanted to do is to give an idea that this was a place where people go to talk about their emotions. And I wanted to create this feeling that it was a very enclosed and safe environment. So we never shot from the city looking in. It was always looking out. And also in terms of the colours and the look of it, I wanted it to feel very English.
So hopefully then across the board of it, you know, the broad scope of it, you know, there's a lot of thematic things for people to think about, and hopefully it will stay with them, and hopefully it will cause a few marriages and a few divorces. No, nothing more than that.